The investigators are back, son! Heist and Seek is the sixth installment of the InvestiGators series, and boy, oh baby boy, I'm still recovering from the last book. But thrilled to see these two terrifying if they were real gators back in action. I won't be saying anything about the last book, since I feel it should be read and experienced firsthand, but I will explain a little bit of background just in case you aren't familiar with investigators. So here's the recap. Investigators Mango and Brash are investigators for suit. They solve all sorts of mysteries, from missing bakers, ghost robots, Inspector Gadget, this bucket of dirt, an astronaut with giant ants, and even the mob. They tackle all of these cases with the help of their spy gear called vests, which can help them go in disguise or provide helpful tools in order to crack the case. In this book, they are called into action as an unknown thief has stolen precious, priceless pieces of art out the back of a moving armored truck without leaving a trace. The art museum they are being transported to were receiving the pieces of art for a gala event that could end up being the museum's demise unless the art is found and returned. Don't judge a book by its cover. Now let me judge this book by its cover. In this book, I think there will be a brand new villain that we've never heard of before. And they will be so much different than what we're used to. I think they're going to be a breath of fresh air in terms of villains, and I think they're going to be super smart. Like Brainiac smart, or like that triangle thing in that Disney show. Maybe some old friends will come out to help, and maybe some old friends will have more character development than the last two books. But the main thing I think will happen is we will get to see more of Mango's backstory, since the first 5 books mainly focused on Brash's backstory. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I really want to see Mango have some real character development in this one. As far as what will happen by the end, I have no idea, because this seems like a whole new chapter for the detective duo. So let's read it now. Time lapse! Go! Toe is broken. Closed the book on my toe and it broke it. My eyes burn. Okay, I finished the book. Talk about convenient time skip. It would have taken hours if you'd waited for me the whole time. So anyway, if you're new here, this is how I do my reviews. I always explain. I'm going to be basing my rating off of 4 main things. Is that how you spell basing? That doesn't look right. Was the theme or lesson clear? Was the plot easy to follow? Was the story immersive? Did it blue skidoo me into the pages? And overall, did I enjoy the experience?
Okay, the theme. Was it clear?
The theme is all about art. Believe it or not. Like, who would have ever guessed? But not just art, as in paintings and the such, but more of an appreciation of art as a whole. Art doesn't have to be pinned as one particular thing, like paintings or a picture. Art can take on many forms, like Play-Doh. Play-Doh can take on many forms, and you can make art with Play-Doh. But throughout the story, John shows many different art mediums going on and different perspectives of art. There's a movie at the beginning, which is a form of art. There's the famous paintings that go missing. There's different people introduced that represent all sorts of different forms of art. And the characters show their opinions on what they believe is good art and what is bad art. But by the end, you learn that it doesn't matter what art you make or what you decide to do. Everything is an art. You may have different opinions on what appeals to you, but everything is an art. And people can have different opinions on what is good art and what is bad art. But all art should be appreciated. Speaking of, I really appreciate the art in this one. I can't imagine the amount of time and work that went into this book, but it is absolutely gorgeous. So major props to John for this beautiful piece of art.
Was the plot easy to follow?
John has always impressed me with his ability to string a complex plot together so easily without ever losing the reader, and this book is just another masterpiece when it comes to that. There are lots of new characters introduced in this book, which really stamps on the idea that this is a new chapter going forward for the Gators. There are some old characters brought back, which is good to see, but the introduction and development of the new characters was flawless. John didn't focus too hard on each new character, gave them just enough time to get introduced and enough information to make them unique as the story progresses. As for the story, this felt a lot like the first book in the series, where the mystery was introduced and there's a lot of twists and turns to figuring out who the villain is, and the final reveal. So much mystery was poured into this one, and with every chapter you think you know what's going on, but you don't. I loved it, and it was very well put together. There was a lot going on with very little revealed as to what the characters were plotting, but every piece of information is important and was brought together seamlessly.
Was the story immersive?
Yes and no. The story itself was very exciting, and the mystery had me hooked. It was very easy to read cover to cover in one sit-through, and there were really no dull moments. I enjoyed all the characters, especially all the new characters. They were all so different, so it was enjoyable to see them interact with one another. The mystery itself had me immersed in the story, trying to piece the puzzle together to figure out who done it. The only thing I'd critique is all the fourth wall breaks, and there were a few more than maybe necessary. Now, it's not a bad thing. They turned out to be really funny moments, and John has had the characters break the fourth wall before, with talking to the audience and saying things about past books, but there seemed to be a lot more in this book, and it took me out of the story. It kind of broke me away from being immersed and involved with the mystery and the storyline, and I was left realizing, yes, I am reading a book right now. But in the end, John made it into a real good gag that I sort of feel made the fourth wall breaks worth it, because it was really funny, so I have to give you props on that one. You got a chuckle out of me, but if I'm talking immersion, the amount of fourth wall breaks took me out of the story. Did I enjoy the overall experience? There, I'm done. I did it. I said it. Absolutely. At this point, this story deserves to have a movie adaptation, and would do very well. I have said that if Disney makes another movie about talking animals, I'd eat my own face, but John makes these books in such a way that I enjoy it very much. The humor is on point and not cliche. The characters are likable because of their personality, and not because they're cute. It's just fun to read, and makes me feel like a kid again. But I'll never be a kid again. Because I'm old. But for real, I really do enjoy reading InvestiGators. InvestiGators is like part Hardy Boys, part Captain Underpants, which I grew up reading and enjoying both of those series. It's funny and captivating, the mystery is fun, and the humor is great. What else can I say about it? Makes me a little jealous that I can't write this well. Okay, let's rate it. Drum roll. Drum roll. Do we have drums? We don't have real drums? You gotta do that every time. I rate InvestiGators Heist and Seek 8 thieves out of 10 thieves. Wait, that makes it sound like it's a bad book. I rate it 8 classical, impossibly hard to draw and I'll never understand art paintings out of 10 classical, impossibly hard to draw and I'll never understand art paintings. I loved it. It wasn't as immersive as the other books, but only because of the fourth wall breaks. Aside from that, I feel it was just as good as all the others, if not better. And the artwork itself in this one was hands down the best of all the series. I still can't imagine the work. I can't wait to see where the series is going to go after this. But hey, we'll just have to wait. Go get the book! InvestiGators Heist and Seek is out now! Go to your local bookstore, or you can follow the link in the description where you can order it. Do that, do one of those. Please go support John and everyone who worked their artsy-fartsy buns off to make this book. Don't support me, support them. I'm just the idiot who had nothing to do with the book. So go read it for yourself. Anyways, thanks for watching. Comment what you think about the book down below. Subscribe if you like. Leave a like if you like. Leave a cookie in the comments if you like. I'll eat it later. Okay, bye.